So Bounce Curl saw the same videos that we all saw of people either trying out their previous brush and getting their hair caught in it, or people cutting the balls off of the other brushes. Or I saw this one video where this girl completely removed all of the teeth out of the thing and was using it. They saw that and they were like, and they came out with a brush and I got it. So let's get into it. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the King, a natural hair channel. I am back with one of the two new Bounce Curl brushes. So Bounce Curl came out with two new brushes in response to all the stuff going on social media. So the one that I have is the Slick Dense Define Edge Lift brush. So they have a brush that is a step down from this one that's supposed to be even less tension. Both of these brushes retail for, I think it's $28. So they're $2 cheaper than the other brushes. I think it's because the materials being used. These brushes are all plastic, and they're made of like recycled materials. And I think there's some sort of like oil coating or something. I can't detect it. I don't notice it, but I guess some sort of coating or something on the I don't even know the acronyms of the letters that the types of bristles are called, but I think it's a type of plastic. So I think because it's a plastic brush, 100%, that's what's making it $2 cheaper than the other one. And y'all, this is what they came out with first. But how about they release a beautiful summer color that was like exclusive in store? I don't remember which store. Which was it? Sephora, I believe. Yeah, whatever. I had ordered this before that came out. So there's that. So as I mentioned in my FHI curl brush video, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Didn't do that long ago. What makes the Bounce Curl brushes, like, I guess, patent protected is the whole three side design. And these are pretty sturdy. I mean, I guess it's about what I expected, that this to be really high quality, nice and thick. I was surprised that the brush overall is a really lightweight brush. I don't know if I expect it to be heavy, but it is very light. I feel like this might be hollow, so that I expected. And then I was really excited for this part here because I was like, oh, you could part your hair with it when you're styling. Very excited for that. I do have thoughts on that. We will talk about that. Okay, so the hair that I'm wearing today actually was styled with a combo of using this brush and then, of course, finger coiling afterwards because I have a hair type that is more like a wave type. So any type of brush, this one, the other one, three-row comb, any stuff like that kind of makes my hair like it smooths it and separates it, but it doesn't necessarily bounce into like this kind of curl. It doesn't really do that. So I then have to go in and like give it a quick little smooth over with my fingers to get that. Just pre-qualifying that because that's what you're going to see in the video clips that I have in this video. But anyway, um, as I was doing my hair, I find that my hair is currently at a length where I need to brush the whole head and I also have to bring back in sections. I was asleep at the wheel when it came time to book a hair appointment for this month. And so I ended up having to book at the very end of the month. So my hair has grown to a length where I got to do a little bit more. It's a lot more going on here. So, anyways, I at first started sectioning in the back using the tip of this brush. I was very excited to use that feature. But as I was doing it, I noticed that what's happening is the product in my hair was coating the end of this brush. So then when I would go to try to use it to hold my hand on the handle to actually smooth my hair through the bristles, it was like I couldn't really get a good grip on it. And so it was causing my hair to seem like I was struggling with it, even though I've detangled my hair. I shouldn't be struggling with it, but it was because I couldn't get a good grip on it because the handle is really slick. So I think that something good that Bounce Curl could do is maybe put some sort of rubber coating or something on the actual handle part to make it easier to put your hand on it afterwards. So what I started doing is I started like sectioning with a section clip, or I started sectioning with just like my hands because I wanted to keep this brush a little bit more dry so it was easier for me to grip it in my hands. But even with that though, I still had product on my hands, so it was a bit of a slippery situation. All right, so let's actually talk about the experience of running these bristles through my hair because that's what we're here for. This is the main character of the story, right? So the bristles are extremely flexible. They're probably some of the most flexible bristles I have ever experienced along this natural hair journey. That's with detangling brushes, that's with other tools that I've used to style my hair. These are extremely flexible. So in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, what is the longevity on these? Are they going to last very long, or are they going to eventually bend out of shape, stay that way, and then need to buy another brush? I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but it is something that's running through my mind as I'm using it. Also, at first, my tip was going to come back to was going to be for me to come back here and say, "Oh, you need to make sure your hair is really well detangled before you use this because this is not for detangling." Because what was happening is, as I was brushing through my hair was getting caught in the bristles. Um, before I could even then try to turn it and smooth my hair along the ridges on the side. It was just kind of getting caught. But then I would say closer to the front of my head, I figured out what it was. What it was that I cannot take sections that are as long as the brush. I had to take the row that I would normally run a comb or the FHI curl brush through. I had to take that and split that in half to get a shorter row. And then my hair was going through this brush like butter. No problems. I don't really know exactly how I feel about the type of smoothing and clumping that I got from here. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. I feel like it did the thing. I feel like maybe there was a little bit more tension, but I'm not sure if tension is something that necessarily made a difference in the outcome of my hair. And I think some of that may have to do with my hair type and the fact that after I use a tool, I have to go through and do some further manipulation anyway to get the finished look. Um, the product didn't get removed from my hair with the brush. I appreciated that. I want to say the clumps were maybe bigger than they were with the curl brush from FHI, but I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to get into the footage and really like compare to see what the whole situation was with that. Um, and then as far as cleaning the brush afterwards, I felt like it was very easy to clean it. My favorite way to clean these kind of brushes is to run water through it first to get out the easy stuff and then whack it. Which with these really soft bristles, I don't know how that's gonna hold up over time, but whack it and get the rest of the hair out. So yeah, there's like maybe two strands of hair deep in here. And I guess I could, if I really cared, I could, go in there with a comb or something and clean it out if I really, really cared. But I just do not care that much. So as far as like just overall thoughts about this brush and like outside of my direct usage, I feel some kind of way about the positioning of the marketing of it. It's being positioned as, let's see, where does it say something? It's like for people who have hair that is super fragile. So like if your hair is, I think one call out was color treated, which my hair is color treated. I mean, let's be real. If your hair is slightly damaged, if it's super fragile, and then they kind of throw in there if you have more of a coily type. Um, and they're saying, maybe you just need less tension because you have damaged hair or fragile hair. Oh, I don't know if that's really selling this to me. Like, I don't think that that is a problem that I felt like I was trying to solve. Like, I don't feel like my hair is so fragile that I can't get this other brush to work for me. Thank goodness for coming out with another brush. I just saw that people who had hair that was more on the spectrum closer to mine that were using the previous iterations of the brush, their hair was coming out puffy. Like it just was not smoothing their hair very well. It just didn't seem like something that was working. And also, I noticed people who are curly and coily don't use a lot of bristle brushes unless they're straightening their hair or smoothing their edges or putting a bun or something. And the brushes with the ballies, yes, they are out there, right? Um, but a lot of tools that are like fine tuned, like like the viral, like unbrush and all that, a lot of them don't have the ballies. So the ballies are more like if you're going in a random TJ Maxx and you go in the brush section. But I feel like the balls are on the end of bristles are out of trend. They're not common for curl focused, curl targeted products to have that. So it's just like I was just looking at something that's just so different than what is typically marketed towards people with textured hair and then seeing the results of people who had hair like mine, I didn't, I really wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like this coming in solved the issue that they're saying that it's solving for me. I'm just saying my perception. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're going to sell tons of these because other people can see it and see, oh, wait, it doesn't have those things. That's what I want. You know what I mean? So I feel like for this one, I'm going to have to continue to use it. I'm feeling more inconclusive than anything. You guys let me know, especially if you've seen the other video of mine, you've seen this one, compare and contrast. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Also, if you have tried some of the other dupes and things that they have, and then you've tried this one, let me know. I'm not mad that I bought it though. So I'm going to say, am I going to give it 5 out of 5 stars? No, but I'm probably going to give it maybe a 3.5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. I definitely think this could be taken to another level, especially if they do some sort of coating on the thing here to accommodate for the fact that I'm putting slimy hair product on the end of it. And I don't think they could do anything to improve the experience other than I need to use shorter, like shorter rows. And then of course I'm going to be getting my hair done soon. So I won't even need to do the brush on the back of the head anyway once I get that back hair back short enough. Okay. So that's my review. I wish it was a little bit more firm, but it is what it is. I would say if you would like to support my channel, the best way to do that is to go to the channel page, see a video that you have not watched in the recent videos, and give it a watch. I'm going to put my FHI video over here for you guys to check it out and compare and contrast. I'll let YouTube put another recommended video here. I will see you guys in the next one.